First of all, Frank, it's a pleasure to have you back at the Riverside. Welcome back. Just going back to the early days of your career, growing up in Paris, did you always know that you wanted to be a footballer? Was it something that was always in your mind?
I did only one sport in my life, is football. I play since the age of 3, maybe before. Can't remember before that, but not always. It was a passion first, and after the age of 13, 14, I've got interest from big clubs in France. Lyon, Rennes, Lens, and to be fair, I went for Lens because it was more like a family club. Doesn't look like you need to get out and do your job and that's it. We are really in a cocoon, and it was nice. That's why I went to choose there, and it was not too far as well from Paris. So for the family to come over and see me play sometimes at the weekend, it was easier as well.
Just bearing that in mind, how comfortable you felt at Lens, coming to England, to Middlesbrough, that must have been a big decision. What made you want to do that?
I always loved the English football, so it's true, and I still do. That will never go away. But no, the big decision was actually easy decision, because I come here and they say, yeah, you're gonna play. We need a defender. We need a left back, and I wasn't playing in Lens with a new coach. You know how it happened. A coach sometimes and doesn't go with it. But when I first come here, it was on trial, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
2 days. I remember I was with Steve Harrison, H, and the gaffer were actually the assistant of Sven-Göran Eriksson when I first came. He was with England, so he saw me only 2 days. I came on a Saturday, Sunday. He came back Monday, Tuesday. I trained with the gaffer, actually, with Steve, and Wednesday morning they called me back to come back on Wednesday night and sign before 12 on a Thursday to be qualified for playing Saturday at Charlton. So that was a quick, no time to think, actually, no time to. So it was good. We got a good draw over there, and after it was all up.
Because obviously you first signed on loan. Obviously part of that is to do with transfer windows and things like that. But did you always feel like, you said about being on trial, was it like a bit of an extended trial? You had a point to prove in order to come here permanently?
I wanted to play. I was 22, I think, at the time. So I really wanted to play, and that's it. And for me, in the best, championship in the world is England. The Premier League for me is the best in the world to play in. You play against international. In every single team in the Premier League, you got international players. So yeah, that was a delight. I was enjoying every single second of the time I was on the pitch.
You mentioned about your away debut, your first debut against Charlton, then coming here for your home debut against Sunderland. You score within a couple of minutes.
Yes.
What an introduction to the fans that is.
Exactly. I think it was the best introduction, actually, for me as well, to adapt, and for me to prove as well, if my mates were looking as well at the games, because I left some friends in Lens when I left during the season. So they were all delighted for me, and obviously, my wife wasn't here yet. She was pregnant, so it was, difficult assessment, but it was good at the end.
Yeah. Steve McLaren, you've mentioned him already, the man who brought you in, I suppose. He was the Middlesbrough manager throughout your entire time with the club. What was he like?
No, it was like ups and downs with Steve, obviously, because it's like a relationship, like father and son. It's sometimes it's good, sometimes we got a bit of clash, but I think a good manager, good tactical manager, and very smart, I won't say, because he know how to get good people around him to help him out. you know, because we had a fantastic team actually, you know, with everybody. I think it's hard to get a man stand out, but the whole team was unique, and as we did on the pitch, it was the same. You know, we are all fighting for each other. So that was the difference at the time.
One of those players was Gareth Southgate. Obviously now he's England manager. Could you see even then what like a leader he was on the pitch, a leader of men really?
But he was Mr. Security, to be fair, you know. And for me, it was fantastic. He was just playing behind me, so it was easy. You know, I could go forward. I could make some mistakes, and he was there to catch it. So it's okay.
I was reading up some interviews just in preparation for this, and there was a quote from Bill Bezic which I thought was brilliant. He said that you were an artist who played left back. Do you think that sums up the way that you played the game, the way you approached it?
Thanks to Bill, and Bill actually did and say something that he always, and I always tell the players I'm come across to say, listen, you're a Ferrari, your motor need oil, it needs perfection. A little thing, can you go in sideways, you know? Because we are like competitors. If we're doing the wrong thing outside of football in our personal life, it will affect as well the way you play.
Obviously, some incredible moments for you in the Middlesbrough shirt. I don't think any more so than the run to the Carling Cup final, a brilliant moment in this club's history. What are your recollections of that?
Actually, the best moment of Middlesbrough, it was actually my best moment as well, because I only won a trophy with Middlesbrough in personal level, you know, and so it means a lot, you know. That's a club I could never forget. You know, it will be in my heart forever. Like I say, it's I've saw as well so many good feedbacks from the fans, from the, you know, the atmosphere. You know, even when I came back under another shirt, so it was fantastic. I can't forget that.
It wasn't just the final. I mean, even the build-up, the run to the final. I remember away at Tottenham Hotspur, the penalty shootout, you taking that final penalty, all these moments that, you know, will live with Middlesbrough fans forever.
Yes, exactly. It's actually it's a good thing I put the penalty. Otherwise, I would be Steve Harrison on my back for the rest of the year, because I went like on a penalty shootout, and I went take the ball and juggling a little bit on my head and stuff, just like I'm doing in the training ground. Actually, it's so. But at the end, it ended well. So
I remember it well. Yeah. Going into that final in Cardiff, obviously a massive occasion for the club, but for the team, I suppose it was just important to win the game. Did you realise? You know, did you feel that sort of weight of history at the time, or was it just about, you know, we need to win this game?
Exactly. The atmosphere was fantastic. You know. As soon as we left the hotel, you know, actually we had a little video, you know, the staff put together a video for us, and you remember the movie Any Given Sunday, with the famous speech of Al Pacino, you know, the coach, and this on the background, the sound of the speech with the picture, you know, on us. Tackling, scoring goals, celebrate together, you know, fight for each other. And from there, we knew we were going to give a good game for the fans. And we left the hotel on the way to the stadium, to Cardiff. It was crazy. The streets were red and white. That was crazy. We were feeling like the atmosphere growing up, and we couldn't start any better the game anyway. No, it was fantastic. You know, first trophy for the club, first for me. good celebration.
Yeah, because as you say, you sort of channeled that energy, and the start to that game was incredible. But then, once you are 2-0 up with 7 minutes, whatever it was, gone, the pressure's on you as defenders. You know, you've got to dig deep, and it
Of
was
course.
digging deep at the end.
Of course, and you know you can't say anything about Schwartz on the goal, because he saved us so many times. He saved us at Man City when he stopped the penalty on Robbie Fowler. He had some couple of saves as well during the game. It was incredible, and so it would be too easy to win 3-0. You know, no suspense, no.
That wouldn't be Middlesbrough, would it?
Yeah, no, that would have been too easy. But no, obviously, you know, yeah, it's always when it's tense like that. That's the best victories, I would say. The best celebrations come after that, because you liberate yourself and you can calm down.
And I imagine there were some crazy celebrations that night, but as you say, even now coming back to the club and seeing people around here, how much it still means to the club, how much it'll always mean. I suppose that it might not dawn on you in the time, but that's what's really special.
Exactly, and I think we're coming back a little bit on that. To be fair, you know, now with Woody, I think we need to give him time. To be fair, and to be patient with him. You know, the result will come. I'm sure that, because he's got the town in him. You know, he's got the club in him. So for me, you know, that's a good choice, and I think we're coming back. You know, we talk about I don't know the value. You know, if it's the right word, I think.
So presumably you feel like that the club is within you as well. I mean, shortly after you'd lifted the Carling Cup, you signed a new contract with Middlesbrough, and you said at the time, I think it was something like, if I could sign a new contract every summer, I would, because you felt like, well, an adopted Teessider, I suppose.
Exactly. That's how I felt straight away. You know, even, you know, she's gonna kill me, but I will tell. My wife, she's cried. She cried when I signed for Middlesbrough. Not after the loan, you know, when I signed, she cried because she wasn't speaking English and stuff. But she cried when we left Middlesbrough as well. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that means so much for us as a family as well. Because my first daughter, you know, she's been raised here. She's been running all all around in the players' lounge, and so yes, no, great memories always here.
Yeah, speaking of great memories, the ones we're here tonight to remember. European football for Middlesbrough, such a massive deal, and you know, what are your memories of that?
I got lots, but to be fair, there's 3 games that will stay in my mind. You know, obviously the quarter-final and the semi-final, you know, when against Bucharest and against Bâle. That's crazy, you know. I think every single commentator, apart maybe from Alistair, wasn't believing us, you know. But we did it, not once, but twice. Yeah. Coming back a 3-0 down or something like that, and score 4 goals. That was crazy. But you know, like I say, we were fighting for each other. The support was fantastic from the fans, and we need to keep that. You know, it's important in this area.
What always sticks with me, the memories of that. Earlier in that season, we'd lost here at the Riverside to Aston Villa 4-0, and it was a dreadful game. I remember there was a fan threw a season ticket, Steve McLaren. I think you were out of the team at this point, so probably that's probably the reason why.
I don't think. I think I played this game actually, and I remember I was there, and I saw the guy running from the stands over there, running all the way there, and throwing his season ticket to the gaffer.
And to go from that to beating Chelsea in the next couple of weeks, who hadn't lost a game in months under Jose Mourinho, and then to those games against, you know, we played against Roma, we played against Bâle, we played against Steaua Bucharest. You mentioned there about the team spirit. It must have been unbelievable in that dressing room. Exactly,
but you know, it's a shame for the guys who threw season tickets because he didn't see that. But you know, because you know, you can't. You can't blame the guy who threw his season ticket. I think he's a passionate guy. You know, that's why he reacted as silly as he did.
Well, I think you were a passionate guy as well, weren't you, Frank? I think a couple of red cards would attest to that.
Happens. Never straight though.
Yeah.
2 yellows.
Oh, okay.
No, but no, exactly. I think you need passion, and I think that's what you have now with Woody. I repeat, because it's important to give him time.
Some of the players in that dressing room as well. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to pick one, but you know, Hugo Egiog, Mark Viduka, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Stewie Downing, some unbelievable talent.
Yeah, you say, forgot Mendieta, you forgot, yeah, Boateng. We had a fantastic team, you know. As I say, yes, remember Stu Parnaby. We got Tony McMahon. There's the youngsters as well, James Morrison. We had some, you know, Andrew Davis. We had even the youngsters at the time, you know, Murphy. Yeah, but it was crazy, Dave, and because nobody's seen, you know, what happened in training ground, but because of the youngsters were like, you know, nearly there, we had to play it well as well, to keep our seat, to keep our place on the pitch, you know.
Well, I think that season we played 60 odd games as well, because there was so many different competitions and stuff.
And we play with a lot of youngsters as well, you know. There's one game in Europe, as I think James Morrison scored an away goal and give us the victory. I think this when I took a red card in this one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well remembered. I wasn't going to point out. Yeah,
Italian referee doesn't like me. English as well. Yeah, it's weird. And French at the time.
The end of that incredible journey, a bittersweet ending, not only because of the result in Eindhoven, but it was your last game as a Middlesbrough player, the end of your Middlesbrough career.
Yeah, exactly.
It ended with an injury as well, but obviously we were going for the game at that point. What are your memories of that game?
No, the final was quite sad because we were 1-0 down, and what opportunity. We were not better, but we were equal to them, you know. And I think some decision as well from the referee went a bit would change the aspect of the game, because I think Dukes chested the ball and the guy jumped on his back and on the penalty box. I think for me that's a clear penalty, but you know, it's like that. Happens, decision, you know, you have to respect, you know. But it was a sad moment because obviously we lost that. I got injured personally, you know. But that's what I said to the lads in the dressing room afterwards. I said, listen, guys, all the Sunderland fans, all the Newcastle fans, they were sitting on the couch and watching the game, you know. All the players as well. We went through the final, you know. It's difficult. We can see that big clubs now winning this competition.
Obviously, you're back at the Riverside now as well. Great to see you back, and you've been back a couple of times over the last couple of months. Do you still keep an eye out for the Middlesbrough results every weekend? Are you still following this club all the same?
Yes, I keep an eye on it. Obviously, you know, I still started the season. I've got my app and favorite Middlesbrough. I look at Fulham results, Birmingham results, the club I played, obviously Lens, kind of all the teams I played. You know, I always keep an eye on it. You know, it's important because when I was there, I was giving 100% every time. You can be bad, you can make some bad choices, some bad passes, but you have to fight. That's for me, that's the most important point. And but I did that in every club I went, not just here, not just there. So it's important for me to keep an eye on them as well.
And hopefully we'll see some of those, you know, those fantastic days back at the Riverside very soon.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope that's the worst I can wish for them.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Frank. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fantastic.